Heyo! We called it hobby time last time, so that's what we're doing now. It's hobby time again. And today we're going to be painting up a Drukhari Lahamean. This, however, comes with one small challenge. I don't own one. The Drukhari is one of Game Workshop's least supported ranges, and nearly a third of their data sheets are out of production. Granted, it's not impossible to find the old Lahamean kits on eBay, but eesh, that's a bit much. Converting other 40K or AOS models is also pretty commonplace, but I want to try something different. My buddy Kevin from Casual Strategies, go check him out, recently got into the 3D printing game. So I figured why not design my own Lahamean using Hero Forge, and this is what I came up with. It's not an exact match as Hero Forge only has so many pieces, but after printing and a little bit of off-camera conversion work, here's our Lahamean. The head printed a little wonky, so I replaced the face with one from the Scourge kit, and I traded her samurai sword with a proper venom blade. Time to paint. So my Drukhari army scheme is a slightly modified obsidian rose with moot green and temple guard blue accents. Should be a pretty simple job. Prior to starting this paint job, I finished off my pot of Abaddon black. I haven't got down to the store to get a new one, so I'm trying out this prismatic D&D black jelly paint. It's kind of interesting. It's semi-transparent, little green even, little black green color to it, but with two coats it came out looking proper black. Moving on from the black and starting with some Mournfang brown, we're going to start to base coat some of the details. And while I have a go at that, we will once again pray to the all-knowing wiki, and once again it shall answer, with fun facts. A Lahamean is a female Drukhari, who is a member of the Sisterhood of Lahitu, and devotes herself to the study of poisons, drugs, and toxins. Basically, your run-of-the-mill Kamara bartender. After the Mournfang brown, we're going to come in with my favorite color in this army, Temple Guard blue. I use these for small accents, hair pieces, cloth, whatnot. This model happens to have both a big cloth piece and a big long ponytail, so we got a lot of blue. To quote the wiki once again, the Lahameans revere a mysterious figure known as Shaimesh, father of poisons. It is unknown whether he is a mythological figure or a historical one. And due to typical space elf weirdness, he very well may be both. Quick little peek so far, and yeah, I think she's looking nice. We're going to come in and poke out some quick moot green accents. Now I feel the moot green is a really good choice because the Lahamean sword is known as a Shaimesh blade, a single scratch from which can cause a victim's flesh to begin eating itself, their brains to swell until it bursts through their skull, or the blood to acidify and melt the bones and organs internally. Plus it's a really pretty green color. That done, we're going to move on to our flesh and bone colors, being Flayed One Flesh and Wraithbone, respectively. Just going to kind of zip through these because they don't show up super well in the lighting. We're going to follow that with some Screaming Bell Bronze for the metal parts of this mini. I admittedly should have thinned it out a little more as it came out kind of heavy on the paint, so we're just going to time-lapse through. Next we bust out the Corn Red to do some basing on a few final accents before I get to edge highlighting with it. Now the edge highlighting is exciting because that's what really makes these models pop. I go over every armor panel and crease or fold in fabric with Corn Red, Evil Sun Scarlet, and Dragonfire Orange, I think it's called. But only in the highest raised of places, and it takes a minute, so I'm just gonna let that section roll here. In terms of tabletop use, the Lahamean is part of the Court of the Archon unit. It's a fairly unique unit, being comprised of 4 separate character-ish models. They act as protection for the ever-important Archon unit, and as of 10th edition, the Archon can join them as their leader. It's a pretty fun set of tools that, to be fair, usually just sits on my backfield objective all game. All that done, we're going to move on to a series of washes, being Null Noil for the metallic parts, Angrex Earthshade for that waistcloth, and Seraphim Sepia for the bone details and for her hair. And here we have it. She's all painted up, but she's not finished yet. First of all, we gotta clean up our hobby space. You should always be nice and tidy. And we're gonna take out our basing supplies. All of my basing supplies are from Army Painter. I pick them up from the generic LGS near me that doesn't sell any Warhammer products. So, let's start with a small little rock. We're then gonna use our white base paint. It's basically Elmer's glue. Cover the bottom and use your crappiest old paintbrush to really just smear it around there. Next we sprinkle on some of our synthetic grass. And tap it in real nice and tight with the paintbrush tip. Once it's in there, we're gonna set it down and let it dry. Give it a little spanking. Get that off. We're going to finish it off with just a few little prefab shrubs, bushes. Yet again, more Army Painter branded stuff. And I like to use this little tip to tap it in real nice. And with that, we got a Lahamean. Hero Forge printed, painted, looking real hot. Stoked to add this one to my army. And here's a little picture of her next to some of her homies. Peace out!